Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot and I'm really excited for today's video. Today we're going to try the channel's new sponsor, SayIntentions.AI. Now, for those of you who don't know about them yet, SayIntentions.AI is an AI-controlled ATC add-on. Not only adding ATC, but also adding things like AI-controlled cabin crews, and more that we are going to explore over the course of the next couple of weeks. But let's go ahead and start with the core functionality, that is adding ATC to our offline flights and also to our online flights, as it can pick you up right in a situation where you might no longer have ATC available on VATSIM. So let's say you are departing a controlled airport, you are eventually leaving the controlled areas, then you can simply activate SayIntentions and they will pick you up from right over there and detect that you've been on Honeycomb, and then they will take you over from there. So very, very cool feature that we have there with the VATSIM integration. But of course it's not just about that. My main pain point with ATC add-ons previously used to be that they were either misunderstanding or just didn't have the flexibility that you have with real-world air traffic control, where you can always just use plain language instead of the predetermined phrases if it becomes absolutely necessary. Now, that's a little bit different due to the several layers of AI that you have in SayIntentions, because SayIntentions is able to comprehend what you are saying and then deliver an appropriate answer. And while of course no software can bring it all the way up to a human just yet, so no, this is not a VATSIM replacement, I rather see it as an augmentation to it. So while it can of course not completely compete with VATSIM just yet, I think it is a step into the very right direction, and I think it has a huge lot of potential. So today we're going to find out by flying a Lufthansa line training flight on the A350-900 from Munich to Hamburg, and for that we are also going to use the brand new update version 1.0.10 for the A350, which is just a small hotfix fixing things such as the EGT increase our engine start, which may have caused the engine cooling sequence to trigger, adding the send button again to the mailbox, and a couple of FS 2020 fixes as well, and fixing a WASM crash in 2024. So an exciting update that I'm really looking forward to fly today. Alright, but with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into the A350 over here. And most importantly, you can see that I have already added my SayIntentions API key over here, and then we also need to go down into the ATC com page, and down here I've also selected SayIntentions as my data source. And with those two things set up, my A350 is now completely set up for usage with SayIntentions.AI. I have already done all the cockpit preparation over here, so all that's left for us is to read the checklists, get our clearance, and then we'll be ready to go so that we can really focus on SayIntentions today and what SayIntentions has to offer. But nonetheless, I do want to get you all into the loop and into the big picture, so let's go ahead and have a quick look at our flight plan here as well. So you can already see it's a straightforward flight, straight line, and over here nothing significant weather-wise as well. In terms of airport weather, we're also looking at easy conditions, so Munich, clear skies, easterly winds, Hamburg, easterly winds, clear skies, and it's going to stay exactly like that. And our alternate Hanover is good as well. The minimum fuel for this flight would be 12 tons. I loaded 13 tons into our aircraft, and well, that's basically all there is to it. So apart from that, I have already prepared the charts. We've done our takeoff data calculation for full length runway 08 left takeoff with config 1+F and the air conditioning off. Our expected SID is the input 1 Quebec departure, which is straight ahead to Delta Mike 070 or 1900, whichever is later, then left turn via 073, 065 towards input. So a fairly straightforward and easy departure for us today. The thing is in the box down here, and apart from that we really don't have anything special for today's flight. So Let's start with a quick departure briefing, and thereafter we are going to request our clearance through SayIntentions. So Munich 08 right, input 3 Quebec, initial most likely 70 unless ATC does any changes to that. MSA 3700 and extra fuel we have 1000 kilos, which makes up for about 10 minutes-ish. Okay, so no hotspots for our taxi routing. Engine outsits straight at 25 miles to the Munich X1 point, and if we need to make an immediate return, then Munich is available with the ILS 08 left pre-programmed. We can always fly visual traffic pattern as well, since we've got clear skies outside. We are below the maximum landing weight, so overweight is not a concern today, and I have nothing special, nothing non-standard. I guess we will kind of be using the autopilot a little bit today, just in order to be able to focus on the air traffic control part, and I don't see any threats for today's departure. So that's our briefing complete. Let's do the cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity. So we have 12,900 kilograms balanced, and barrel reference is QNH 1018. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Okay, wonderful. So then let's go into the ATC com page, ATIS request, and let's go ahead and get our ATISes. So here we go, and you can see we actually have a full ATIS available for every single airport, because these ATISes are actually coming from SayIntentions, which is something that I really like. If we open this, you can see we've got München airport information, India at 0720, so the thing is 12 minutes old. Wind 095 at 5, cavalcade, temperature 13, QNH 1018. Density, altitude, well, that's a rather American thing, you wouldn't get that in the German ATIS. So departing runway 8 left, arriving runway 8 right, and that's it. Cool. So we have information India on board, then let's go ahead and grab our ATC clearance. So we'll go on to request, clearance, departure. So let's see, we're at gate 249 Alpha. So 249 Alpha, and we have ATIS information India. The rest of it, departing Munich, aircraft type A359, destination Hamburg, is correct. So let's transfer that to the mailbox. Request pre-departure clearance, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor A359 to Hamburg at Munich, stand 249 Alpha, ATIS India, sent. Alright, cool. So with that, our clearance request is sent. Now we just gotta wait for our data link clearance to arrive. And this is all SayIntentions right there in the background already. Might take a little while, just as in the real world, so it could take a minute.
Boarding has started and the first passengers are aboard the plane.
And as you can hear in the background, our flight attendant is working as well already. So let's listen to what she's got to say.
We kindly ask you to take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance, please do not hesitate to contact our crew. Thank you for choosing Lufthansa, and we wish you a pleasant flight.
So one of the things that I really appreciate about the flight attendant's announcements simulation here is that they know the SimBrief flight plan, so they know our departure, they know our destination, the flight number, and a lot more flight details. Okay, so Lufthansa Papa Victor clearance request received, being processed, standby. Let's close that. And here's our clearance. Clear to Hamburg. Input 3 Quebec departure, maintain 7000. Departure 11883, squawk 1000, expect runway 8 left. Okay, Wilco and send. So let's cross check. Input 3 Quebec is confirmed. Oh, come on, recall. So input 3 Quebec is confirmed. Maintain 7000, checked. And departure on 118.83. I will tune that down here in VHF3 just to remember it. So 1883 and squawk 1000. Like this. Okay, spectrum 8 left, that's what we've got down here, and that's our clearance confirmed. So let's close this, and then we are basically ready down here. So load sheet would have arrived by now. Let's go ahead and do the most important things. Hit refresh here for a moment. So 0 fuel CG 30. And weight 170.6. 170.6 is in here, 0 fuel CG. Let's quickly modify that 30. The rest is unchanged, so we can keep all our data. And with that, we are pretty much ready to go. So let's tell GSX to prepare the position for pushback and departure, please. And then let's go ahead and find our ground frequency and get going. So, no, we don't need pushback just yet. In the real world, we would now call delivery and ask for startup clearance. That's going to be 121.73. And what's our call sign again? 5 Papa Victor. München delivery, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, request startup.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, contact Munich ground on 121.83 for startup clearance.
121.83 Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. In the real world, they would have said startup approved, contact ground 121.83, but that's fine. They give you startup, they hand you over to the next frequency. That's all we need. Okay, cool. So we are pretty much ready to go. Our TUC is connected, everything is ready. Then let's go ahead and disconnect the external power units. Disconnect the chocks. Our park and brake is set, as we can see down here. And let's just enable GSX control in order to get our pushback clearance. And then let's go ahead and contact ground. München ground, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, request pushback and startup.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, Servus, pushback approved, face north.
Pushback approved, face north, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. That was about as German as it gets. So, beacon on, surveillance, and default settings confirm. Wonderful, then let's go for the before start checklist, please. So, park and brake is set. Data speed and thrust, V1.140, VR144, V2.148. And flex 64 slides. Keep forgetting those. Are armed, and nose steering disconnect memo is checked. Before start checklist complete. Ground from flight deck. So we're clear to push, face north, and the park and brake is set. Okay, release park and brake. Brakes released. And standing by for your clearance to start the engines. I'll disable the GSX control down here again because I don't like it 100% just yet. Alright, and with that, we are on our way. Now the flight attendant should start their announcement in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Let's
aboard
listen to this.
Lufthansa Flight 2054, departing from München to Hamburg. My name is Taylor, and on behalf of the entire crew, I would like to introduce our captain, Emmanuel, and our first officer. Joining me in the cabin today are my fellow crew members, Anna, Lucas, Sophie, and Max. We expect our flight time to be approximately 1 hour and 5 minutes. Now, I would like to take a moment to go over some important safety information. First, please ensure your seatbelts are fastened. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal tip into the buckle until you hear a click. To release it, simply lift the buckle. We recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated, just in case we encounter any turbulence. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the compartment above you. To use the mask, pull it towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place it over your nose and mouth, securing it with the elastic band. Remember to put your mask on first before assisting others. For water landings, life vests are located under your seats. To use the vest, pull it out and place it over your head. To inflate, pull the red tabs
Alright, that's a good start on engine number 1. Let's start engine number 2. And the push is complete. Brakes out. Alright, so that was the cabin crew safety demonstration. What I really like about this is that they get all those features in, like your flight number, your departure and destination, the flight time, which it gets right from SimBrief. Then a little bit later on they say the correct aircraft type. So that's some really neat things, because it can do that with every single aircraft, because it simply gets your data right from SimBrief. So that's a really nice thing to have there. And yeah, it just really adds to the immersion. Of course, you can turn that on and off. You got like, I don't remember how many, 20 different flight attendant voices or something the likes. So that's actually a pretty cool thing. And we've got 2 good engine starts. You're clear to disconnect. Show me the pin on the right. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Alright, so let's do the flight controls. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. So there's the ramp agent. He's holding a pin in his hands. Looking good to me. Then let's do the after start checklist, please. So anti-ice, off, flight controls checked, ground clearance received, after start checklist complete. So let's prepare the notepad. Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, request taxi.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, service. Taxi to runway 8 left via Echo 2, November 4, November, Alpha 2.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, taxi to runway 8 left via Echo 2, November 4, November, Alpha 2. Alright, so Echo 2, let's see, is straight ahead. November 4 is also straight ahead. Then first to the left onto November and Alpha 2. Okay, makes sense. So straight ahead, left, and straight ahead. Cool. So taxi light on, right side clear, left side clear. Brake released, let's go. Brake check. Brakes okay. Alrighty, so something you may have noticed already is that SayIntentions takes a little time before they actually reply. They don't reply immediately to whatever you say. The reason for this is that the add-on needs a little while to think. That's because it's processing whatever you say through several layers of artificial intelligence. So basically, first they process what you say, then they process the request, then they develop an answer, and then they are phrasing that answer into speech again. So that process takes a little while, but I think it's kinda okay. Like, in the real world, obviously you do get your answers a little bit quicker, but we are talking about a matter of seconds here, which I think is absolutely okay. When they started out, it took like 15 seconds for the program to respond, which is obviously far too long. But by now it takes like 2 or 3 seconds mostly, and I think that's quite okay. And who knows, perhaps they will be able to shrink that time a little bit more in the future, so that would of course make it even better. Alright, so long straight line. That means we can do our procedures here, so I have no changes to the takeoff briefing. Brake, squawk is checked, takeoff config. Come on. Probably still waiting for the cabin before we can do that. Then let's expedite that cabin a bit. Here we go. Alright, good. Then taxi checklist, please. Flap setting. Config 1 plus F. Radar on. Taxi checklist complete. Alright, so we'll taxi all the way to Alpha 2, and then we'll see what's going to happen from there. Left side is clear, no traffic coming over there, even though, to be fair, I have disabled any traffic for this flight, because I just want to focus on what SayIntentions is actually doing with us, rather than what's happening in the big picture with everything here. Even though we will, of course, most definitely explore that at a later stage. Okay, so Alpha 2 to the right. Alright, so now the handover could come.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, contact tower on 118.705, safe flight.
118.705, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. So 118.705, and then our departure 118.83 is pre-selected. München Tower, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, ready for departure.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, heavy, Munich Tower, runway 08 left, wind 0905 at 5, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 08 left, cleared for takeoff, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. So we don't need that anymore. Transponder is on. Lineup checklist, please. Cabin secured. Takeoff runway 08 left, Alpha 2, PAX 1 and 2. Off. Lineup checklist complete. Okay, are you ready for a rolling takeoff? Well then, let's go. Flight 64, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. 100 knots. Checked.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Nav. Check. The new transition from rotation into normal launch just feels great. You really don't feel the transition at all anymore. I like that.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. Contact departure on 118.83.
118.83, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. Flap 0. Speed checked, flaps 0. München radar, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor Heavy, passing 3,500, climbing level 70.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor Heavy, Munich departure identified.
Alright. We did not get any further climb just yet, but I'm sure we'll get there. In the meantime, we can just enjoy the hand-flying characteristics of the A350 here. It definitely feels like a sports car.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor Heavy, Munich departure, climb flight level 220.
Climb flight level 220, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor Heavy. Good. 22,000 blue, set standard. Standard cross-check, passing flight level 56 now. Okay. Autopilot 1. And with that, we're up and on the way. So acceleration flow pattern, flaps up, spoilers retracted, gear up, packs on. This is not a checklist anymore, according to the latest Airbus logic, but they just made it a flow pattern. Once the acceleration is done, you just check again for flaps, spoilers, gear, and packs. Generally, we don't have a checklist for that anymore, because if, for whatever reason, it would become an issue that you forgot something, the aircraft would give you a warning. For example, if you forgot the packs, you would get a pack warning here. If you, well, forgot the flaps, you just couldn't accelerate and you would notice. The speed brake would be listed over here, so pretty much easy going. Now, something I will do for this flight, in order to show you everything that ATC is doing over here, is I will just activate a little bit of time compression here. So let's put on auto time compression, so that we're simulating at 4x. Passing 10,000, our pitch is below 7 already, so we can release our passengers. And over here, well, suppose we can go in weather, even though there's nothing over here anyway. You can have terrain then.
We are now at a safe altitude, and you are welcome to use your electronic devices. Please ensure that they are in airplane mode. Also, our onboard Wi-Fi service, Blindness, is now available for you to enjoy. We will be coming around shortly with our onboard delights menu, featuring a selection of meals and snacks made with fresh regional ingredients. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you have a pleasant flight.
Alright, that was our flight attendant announcement. Then 416 is the optimum.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, climb flight level 330.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, climb flight level 330. So this is one thing where I would hope SayIntentions is going to improve a little bit. That they seem to keep you on the departure frequency until you pass a boundary into another FIR. So that's of course not realistic here. Munich departure would have handed us off at something like level 150 or so. So that is one thing that I do hope they are going to improve with the future update. Alright, in any case, since we're clear to level 330 already, let's go ahead and log on to CPDLC. So ATC connect. We are on SayIntentions and we want to connect to Rheinradar, Echo Delta Uniform, notify, and the notification is sent. And when they actually log on to us, then we are going to see that. And then we will actually be able to use CPDLC with SayIntentions. At this moment, Phoenix supports it as well. PMDG, not
Lufthansa
just
5
yet.
Papa Victor, contact Munich radar on 128.63.
128.63, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. Okay, here's our handoff. München radar, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, passing level 275, climbing 330. And look at that, active ATC Rheinradar.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, Munich radar, identified. Servus.
I kinda like the local way of saying hello, the Servus, or however you, whatever they are using locally. I like that. Gives it a little local touch. In terms of accents from ATC, they do have quite some available as well. So 1000 to go. Vertical speed. So flight level 360 is the requested level over here. Let's see if they are going to clear us to climb all the way up there. Alt star. Alt. Otherwise we can of course always just send them a request. So
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's
we
just
have
turn
now reached cruising
time
altitude.
compression off and listen
We
to
will
our
begin
flight
snack
attendant.
and drink service shortly. I highly recommend trying our delicious pretzel bites or the savory cheese platter, both made with fresh regional ingredients. After the service, we will also have items from the Lufthansa shop available for you to purchase. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Okay, so, while we have the announcement fresh in mind, did you listen carefully to what we have in the shop? Our fresh pretzel bites? I just really love the airline customization. If you fly with KLM, you might get some tulip water. If you fly with Lufthansa from Munich, you might get some pretzels. I like it. And here's our CPDLC, climb flight level 360. We'll go send. So, thrust decline, climb all cruise, flight level 360 blue. I just really love this sort of regional touch that they add here. So let's turn time compression back on in order to make it all the way up to our cruising level. Approaching. 1000 to go. And Mach vertical speed. Feels a little bit weird to actually record a flight in time acceleration, but I'll cruise star. And look at our cruising speed. Typical Airbus. You climb at a very high speed and then you just slow down when you reach cruising altitude. Okay, so expect the Nolgo 3 Papa arrival. Anticipate descent in about 20 minutes. Feel free to ask if you'd like it sooner. Cleared direct Nolgo. Okay, accept, send. So, direct Nolgo, that is not on our flight plan. Does that look reasonable? Yes, it does. Okay, insert. Then just give me a recall here. Nolgo 3 Papa arrival. So runway 15, ILS, and yeah, 3 Papa actually looks like a different runway. Okay, tell you what. Then before we enter anything here, temporary undo. let's go to ATC con D8s, update all. And let's look at the Hamburg 8s. So, arriving and departing runways 33 and 23. Okay, that's interesting. So runway 33 is actually active. So, let's see. The Papa arrival, if I'm not completely mistaken, is runway 23. So let's enter that. Erase Tempe. So, Hamburg, runway 23, ILS. And Logo 3 Papa, here it is. With the Delta Hotel 657 transition and insert. And now let's take Nolgo, present position direct 2, insert, and that's our flight plan build up. Okay, I like it. So that's actually a good shortcut for us. And we're almost reaching our top of descent already. So let's just quickly go to real time here for a moment. Time compression off. And yeah, feel free to ask if you like it sooner. Okay, so close that again. So let's go ahead and start our approach preparations here. I'll open weather on the right hand side for a moment. Then let's find our arrival charts. So first of all we can remove the Munich charts, then Hamburg, search, APC, AGC, starts runway 23, and we'll need the ILS approach runway 23 as well. Here we go. So let's have a look. Plan 40 range. Here we go. So we're coming in from Nolgo between level 110 and 4000 via Delta Hotel 609 above 4000 and maximum 220, 610, 611, 612, 613, 614 and 615 around the corner, 655, 656, 657 above 4000 and maximum 220. And that's where we start the approach. So let's transition onto that ILS chart down here. Okay, so we got the 10-mile point, which is the center fix, and then we have PSAS above 3000, minimum 170 knots. And then let's see, we have a 3-degree glide path in here, and we have a 3-degree glide path in here. The missed approach straight at 5.5 DME Ulster, left turn to Hamburg, climbing 4000. And that's exactly what we've got in the flight plan as well. Beautiful. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. Well, we don't need anything for the fix info here. We basically don't need anything here at all. So then, for the performance, let's see, descent, 0.84, and that speed is looking good. Transition level is 55. That's something that could use a little improvement here. They use these odd transition levels in the UK, but in the rest of Europe it's basically even levels. So in this situation with a QNH of 1022, it would be transition level 60 over here. Alright, so that's in here. Position monitor is going to be Hamburg runway 23. Then let's go for the approach page, and that's going to be the winds. 360 at 3 knots. Temperature 15, QNH 1022. Wonderful, and the minimum will be Cat 1 Charlie 270. Okay, let's see, probably keep it on config full, but let's go ahead and run some calculations. So when we look at the ground chart, you can see that landing on 2-3 over here, we either vacate via Delta 7, which is really only about 1400 meters, or just via Delta 4 over here, giving us 2080 meters, and I think that's the better option. Let's go for landing performance here, synchronize the FMS data, and synchronize the weather from over here. ATC message, Bremen radar on 123.225, check-in with voice. In the real world they wouldn't write this check-in with voice, but I think they might just have had too many problems here with flight simmers not checking in. So 123.225. Bremen radar, Lufthansa 5, Papa Victor Heavy, level 360.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, Bremen radar identified. Good morning.
Okay. Cool. So that's everything ended over here. Then for the go around, let's quickly calculate this as well. So compute factor landing distance 1785, so we can easily make it out to Delta 4 as briefed. Okay then, let's request descent. Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, request descent.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, cleared Nolgan 3 Papa, arrival into Hamburg.
Cleared Nolgo 3 Papa, arrival into Hamburg, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. So topper descent reached. Will they actually give us descent clearance? Not yet, it seems. I have a feeling, since they expect us, since they probably calculate the track mileage of the entire arrival, they might just think that we are gonna descend late because they want us to fly all that. I'm not sure how they work in regards to shortcuts over here yet, so let's go ahead and find out. I'll just wait a little bit and see if and when we are going to get our descent clearance by air traffic control. Oh, direct to Diobo for a shortcut. But why can't I confirm this? So where is Diobo? Not here. Well, direct Diobo. Over there. Okay. That doesn't sound like a shortcut to me. Let's ask. Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, request to continue direct Nolgo. Let's just see what they're going to say.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, cleared direct to Diobo.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, proceed direct Diobo. Okay, insert, and then I'll just link up Diobo with Nolgo.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, refer to your charts or navigation aids for vector procedures.
What? Five Papa Victor, roger. Well, my friend, we'll have to talk about that one. So the sound you heard in the background was that I just hit a little button there saying incorrect ATC instruction. Because obviously they had cleared us to Nolgo already, and I kinda guess they wanted to give us a random direct, and Diobo used to be on our original flight plan. If we look into the secondary flight plan here, come on, show it on the screen please. Here you can see it. After Diobo, the flight plan would have made us fly to Rarob and then onto the arrival. So it would have been on the original flight plan, so probably a little bug there, since they already gave us the direct to Nolgo. Well, and we can close this since we have gotten the instruction by voice now. Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, request descent. Let's try again.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, descend flight level 350.
Descent flight level 350, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. Thrust descent alt, flight level 350, blue. And Mach vertical speed, 1000 to go. Alright, we'll keep the original stuff though, and after Dirbo we'll have to see where ATC is actually going to send us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now left our cruising altitude and have started our approach to Hamburg. We kindly ask everyone to return to your seats, stow your tables, and fasten your seatbelts. Please note that the use of lavatories is no longer allowed at this time. Thank you for your cooperation.
Typically Airbus, it actually just increases to the expected descent speed and then goes for like full thrust. But that can happen to you in an Airbus. Okay, let's see. Airport select, Hamburg. Alt star. Alt. Descent flight level 240. Wilco, send. Flight level 240 blue. 5,500 above profile. We'll see about that. Thrust descent alt. So let's see, runway 23. Come on, I wanna select you for landing, please. Maybe too many things on the same position here. Let's do it like this. So select landing runway. So Delta 4 should actually be fine. Let's select that and port brake arm. Extend speed brake, we'll wait momentarily with that, just in case they do want us to go to Raub after all. We'll see about it. Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, request to proceed direct no-go.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, cleared direct to no-go.
Clear direct to no-go, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. Okay, here we go. So now we know where to fly. We are still clear for the arrival since we had that in our original plan. And now we can actually go ahead and grab those speed brakes and get all the way down. Okay, so fasten seatbelt signs are coming on. Then let's go over to the right hand seat here for a moment and start our briefing. So no-go 3 Papa arrival, ILS approach runway 23. Minimum is 270 and go around straight at 5.5 miles, then a left turn to Hamburg BOR climbing 4000. We have no specials on non-standards from my side, and in terms of extra fuel and time, that's 2.9 tons, 34 minutes. So flight rector guided approach, speed on star. So speed brake is coming in, and here we go, descent, flight level 110, send. Thrust idle descent, alt, flight level 110 blue. Extend speed brake, yeah, okay. Okay, so back to the briefing. Flight rector guided ILS approach. We will probably keep the automation in for a little bit since we want to focus on air traffic control today. Flaps full, idle reverse, BTV for Delta 4. Come off to the left side, 1 hotspot for taxiing, that's going to be the crossing of runway 33. And apart from that, I have no specials. What else do we have? No, nothing non-normal, nothing special, no threats. That's it. Any questions? Alright, briefing complete. So we're reaching our descent profile. Let's do the speed brakes. And then descent started, CPDLC service terminated. Okay, close. And just to be sure that we're actually locked off. ATC com, connect. Yep, it's locked us off. Okay, perfect. Very good. So that was actually quite
Lufthansa
fun.
5 Papa Victor, descent altitude 4000, QNH 1019er.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, descent altitude 4000, QNH 1019er. So flight level 40 blue, set QNH. QNH 1019er cross check, passing 20,000. Well, passing 19,700 now. Checked. Of course, this instruction is a little bit early. We should just have stayed cleared to 110 or so until calling approach, and then approach would clear us all the way down. That's how it would work in the real world, so I'm certainly going to file some feedback on that. So, for the sake of keeping this video short, let's just put on a little bit of time compression here in order to cover the distance to Hamburg, because I guess until Nolgo, not a lot is actually going to happen. I'll just keep that page open here so that we can go back to real time any moment we need to. Because using time acceleration at these altitudes is, of course, always a little bit iffy.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, contact approach on 120.54.
120.54, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. So 120.54, and we have ATC Bravo. Hamburg approach, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor Heavy, passing 12,100, descending 4,000, information Bravo.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, Heavy identified. Good morning. Expect the ILS runway 23 approach into Hamburg.
Expect ILS 23, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. Okay, and that's about all there is about this. So let's just keep descending a bit quicker here. Thruster idle open descent. Because VNAV would now attempt to fly a continuous descent profile over this entire area over here because of the level 110 below restriction at Nolgo. We don't want that. We want to be able to take a shortcut any moment on the base over here. So for this reason, I am actually going to open descent now. So passing 10,000, our speed target should have come down a little bit earlier. This was a tad late here. But anyway, lights on,
Captain, the
signs
cabin
on.
is ready.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on our final approach into Hamburg. Please turn off all electronic devices and stow them until we have arrived at the gate. Kindly put your tray tables away and ensure your seats are in their full upright position. Also, please fasten your seatbelts. Once we land, Lufthansa staff will provide you with information regarding your connection flights. Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay. So far so good. One thing that I'm kind of missing though is an update on the QNH, because I'm fairly sure the QNH we have here is not correct. Let's just update that Hamburg ATIS real quick. But it's still Bravo, and it says QNH 1022. I'm fairly sure it took the QNH from wherever we were the moment they gave us that QNH, so they just read it out of the sim rather than taking the destination QNH. So that's definitely something I will report to them for a future update. Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, please confirm the QNH.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, QNH 1022, information Bravo.
QNH 1022, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. There was a VATSIM controller involved in this. This information Bravo is something they would do on VATSIM often, in the spirit of, hey, instead of asking me, just look at the H's. And yeah, that is something I can kind of understand VATSIM controllers to do. In the real world, they would probably not have said that, by the way. They would just have confirmed the actual QNH. But of course, in the sim over here, since they gave us a different QNH earlier, they should have updated us with the latest QNH the moment it became available. So I can understand what the program is trying to do here, but this one is on you, my friend, not on me. So let's help a little bit. I just want to get a bit lower here so that we can take a shortcut to the final, basically once we are abeam. Well, and then approach checklist, please. So, baro ref, QNH 1022, minimum baro 270, runway condition, dry, and auto brake, BTB. Approach checklist complete. Approaching. I think we're low enough anyway now, so speed brake is going back in. Well, and that's about, yeah, that's about all there is to this. So eventually we're just waiting for a vector for the base and the final, which could basically come any time where a beam pees us over here. So basically once we're passing Delta Hotel 611, I'm expecting the vector to final any moment. To go. Speed, vertical speed. So in order not to lose any time, let's just go on a small time compression leg here. Because I actually don't know when they are going to turn us final. Out. Or I'll tell you what, let's turn that off and let's do that differently. Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, request vectors to final.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, turn left heading 345 vectors for the ILS runway 23 approach.
Turn left heading 345, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, turn left heading 340.
Turn left heading 340, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, heavy, 8 miles from Pisas. Turn left heading 265, descend altitude 3000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 23 approach.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, turn left heading 265, descend 3000 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS 23. Here we go. So, speed, vertical speed heading 3000 blue. Then let's extend the center line, please. Direct Pisas, course in, well, 225. Looks about right, yeah. Insert. Nav, no. Might have been very close here, so that it captured already, but let's continue on the vector. But you're not going to accelerate, my friend. So select the 220, activate approach phase. Okay, that's better. Looks like we don't actually receive the ILS yet, so nav blue, alt star. So what's the correct frequency? 1113. And we have that, okay. We'll see. We'll see. Perhaps we are only going to receive it when we are a little bit closer to PSAS. Nav. You can see I'm simply using nav mode to intercept the final now. Make my life easy, because why not? Alright, so minimum 170 knots over at PSAS, but we do have some 15 knots of tailwind here, so let's go ahead and start reducing already. Managed speed. Interesting VSD down there. Pretty sure it's not supposed to do this. Just took a screenshot of that, which I will definitely send to the AnyBuild support for analysis later on. So, are we going to receive the ILS, or are we not going to receive the ILS? It is tuned, including the correct identifier. And the frequency is the same as on the
Lufthansa 5
chart.
Papa Victor, contact Hamburg Tower on 121.28.
121.28, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. Those of you who know the actual Hamburg airport will probably know that this is their backup frequency, not the primary tower. Okay, I think there's something wrong here with our ILS. Still not receiving it. In that case, we'll just take things easy. Track FPA. So FPA -3. Hamburg Tower, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, ILS 23.
2,500.
Checked. Runway is inside up there. We'll just fly it as a
Lufthansa 5
visual
Papa
approach.
Victor, heavy Hamburg Tower, wind 360 at 3, runway 23, cleared to land.
Runway 23, clear to land, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor. Yeah, let's see, 7 miles to the runway. We should be in 2,300, so we're like 200 high. Give me 4 degrees, please. Gear down, flaps 2. I'm kinda flying it, well, officially I'm flying it as a visual approach, and the puppy is actually inside over there, so autopilot off, flight directors off, the bird is on, and what's the runway track? 226. Here we go. Flaps 3. I just helped myself with a non-precision technique over there for a 2D approach in order to intercept the final, and now I'm flying it as a visual. So let's get rid of the ILS scale if it's not working anyway. Come on, cabin. Get ready. Landing checklist. Yeah, landing checklist complete.
1,000.
Check. Manual thrust. And this is the actual 1,000, and we're stable at the gauge. Speed is checked, correcting. So we're clear to land. That was a bit much thrust here. Flying too many different aircraft at the same time recently on this channel.
400.
So still 10 knots tailwind up here.
300.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, wind check.
100 above. 200.
Checked.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, wind 360 at 3.
So it is going
Minimum.
to turn and soften quite
100.
significantly. Continue.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Okay, welcome to Hamburg. Spoilers, reverse green, decel. Manual brakes.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, welcome to Hamburg. Contact ground on 121.805.
121.805, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor.
We have just landed at Hamburg Flughafen. What a smooth landing. I'd say it would be rated an 8 out of 10. The current local time
I
here is
disagree.
10:54 a.m. The weather is quite pleasant with a temperature of 15 degrees Celsius, clear skies, and no precipitation. Did you know that Hamburg is home to the largest port in Germany and is often referred to as the gateway to the world?
Okay, enough talking about the...
First Officer Sachs and the entire crew, we thank you for flying with Lufthansa today. Please remain seated until we reach the final parking position. We hope you enjoy your time.
Alright, I'll just stop over here for a second. Because with writing down all the taxi clearances and stuff, I just want a moment to actually be able to clean my airplane up. So here we go. Well done. Let's just see where we actually want to park, and I want to be on gate number 2 today. Hamburg ground, Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, request taxi to gate 2.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, taxi to Terminal 1 Gate 02B via Delta 4, Golf, cross runway 33, then Bravo 3, Z1 Orange. Good day.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Victor, taxi to gate 2 Bravo via Delta 2 Golf Bravo 3 Zulu 1. I'm going to ignore the orange because we are absolutely not going to do that in a wide-body aircraft. So via Delta 2, where is that? Probably the one we're on right now. And then via Golf, so down here. Golf Bravo 3 Zulu 1. Okay. So brakes released. Let's go straight ahead. So straight ahead via Golf, cross runway 33 they set, and then Bravo 3 Zulu 1. Sounds good. So, since we have pretty much done everything that, or seen everything that we were supposed to see with SayIntentions over here, let's go ahead and talk about how I liked my first flight with it. So, I think SayIntentions is doing a pretty good job here. Out of all the air traffic add-ons that we've used so far, I think SayIntentions is the most promising one. And of course there were a couple of mistakes in here, like not all the frequencies were 100% correct. Yeah, that little direct that they sold us as a shortcut via CPDLC, that was of course perhaps related to the original flight plan rather than to the shortcut they gave us earlier, but I'll let that slip. And well, that was pretty much my initial feedback here. So few things of course that could use some improvement, and I'm sure that they are going to improve on those. I will definitely report all my findings here. But overall, I do think that it is a really promising add-on. If you're interested in getting it, use the affiliate link that you can find in the comments and in the video description below, as that is not only going to give you a great alternative for when there is no VATSIM ATC online, but as that is also going to support my channel. So, for now, we are clear to cross runway 33. And then Bravo 3, Zoom 1. However, not the orange line. That is not suitable for our wingspan. Perhaps they don't know about that just yet. But in my opinion, I could use pretty much almost the same phraseology that I would use in the real world. The AI understood it all, so that's quite a cool thing. Now, there is a lot more to explore with this add-on, and you can be absolutely sure that we are going to do that over the course of the next couple of days and weeks. So stay tuned for those videos. And, well, in the meantime, remember that SayIntentions is not the only add-on that we looked at in this video. We also have the Inibill's A350 version 1.0.10. And, well, what can I say? CPDLC worked fine, the engines worked fine, even though I have to admit they also did on at least my earlier flight with it. But I know that some of you guys had problems with it, so hopefully those will be fixed. And, well, no buzz and crash either. So that's that from my part. Now let's go ahead and find our gate number 2. Let's see if we can just quickly convince GSX to give us some sort of a parking guidance here. Gate, show all. Oh, look at that, you can't even select 2 center. Alright, I don't care. Give me 2 Bravo. So, of course, you don't get any parking guidance over here. And we'll just park ourselves, and I think this should be just fine. So, APU bleed on, parking brake on, and shut down. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Alright, so slides are disarmed, then let's turn the beacon off, let's turn the seatbelts off, and finally we'll also turn the fuel pumps off. So transponder, standby, and then let's do the parking checklist, please. Parking brake or chocks, well, brake set, wing light is off. And that's our parking checklist complete. So my friends, that's all I can offer you today. I do hope that you all enjoyed the flight. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath this video. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, if you're interested in SayIntentions, do use the affiliate link that you will find in the video description below, as that is not only going to give you a great add-on, but also going to support my channel. And with all of that out of the way, thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you all enjoyed it. As always, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I see you all again on the next one.